Okay, we are back with a recipe that actually is very, very popular for me to bake for people, but I wanted to show y'all a really easy way that you can make it at home, and it's something that you don't have to go out and wait for somebody else to make you. It's a great summer recipe, but honestly, we like it anytime, and it is lemon blueberry cakes. Now, I'm gonna make lemon blueberry cupcakes to make it simpler right now, but we are gonna make it from a box mix. It's really hard to find from scratch recipe for vanilla or white cake or anything like that that's not dry. It's very, very hard. So with a box mix, we're gonna doctor it up. This recipe, the box actually calls for 1 cup of water, 3 eggs, and 1/3 cup vegetable oil. The only thing in that we're keeping the same is the 1 cup of water. So I've already dumped the mixture into the bowl, the powder. I've added 1 cup of water. Now, instead of the 3 eggs, we are adding 4. 1 extra egg makes a huge difference in how moist that cake is. Instead of the 1/3 cup oil, we're adding 1/2 of a cup, or 1 stick if you do the quarters, of melted butter, fully melted in your microwave. Mix that all together, and it comes out with a pretty thick consistency. So we're gonna take, let's see, this is a 1/4 cup, and put it in the lined cupcake tins, okay? You're gonna fill all of those up. Now the trick to getting the blueberries not to just sink to the bottom of the cake mix, because if you just toss them in right now, as soon as that cake mix gets a little warm, it's going to thin out and the blueberries will sink right to the bottom. Which is, I mean, it's fine, but all your blueberries not gonna be dispersed throughout the cake. So the trick is, you're gonna take a bowl of powdered sugar and just take your blueberries and throw them right in there and fully coat the blueberries. So they look, see if I can get one out. They look like that. And then you're gonna add those to the cake mix that's in the cupcakes. You're gonna do all of those like that, throw it in the oven at 350 for 18 minutes. Now, every oven is very different. So you know your oven on the time. You can use a toothpick to check this. However, you have to be careful because you might stab right into the blueberry and get a really gooey mixture. So ours is 350 for 18 minutes for cupcakes. Once these are cooled, I'm gonna show you how to do the buttercream for it. Okay, so for the buttercream icing, you're going to need a pound of butter or 4 sticks, and you want that softened. If it's not room temperature, just go ahead and heat it up in your microwave for like 10 to 15 seconds. I usually beat them until they get smooth in the mixer. And then when that's done, you take a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar and dump it in. Now this part, it's gonna get messy. I don't know if you can see all the puff of powdered sugar that just popped up. So if you're using like a stand mixer, you're definitely gonna wanna make sure to lock it. I also take a clean flour sack towel and I just gently, I hold it so it doesn't get sucked into the mixer, and I wrap it around just like that. And I mix it then, because if you don't do this, the powder, first of all, it's gonna shoot out all over the place. It's gonna shoot up, it's gonna shoot everywhere. Everything will be covered in powdered sugar. So this is just one step to secure making a little bit less of a mess. You're gonna beat that for probably about 5 7 minutes or so until it starts to incorporate, and then we'll go on to the next step. You're gonna notice it's gonna start sounding like it's working a lot harder. That means the butter is all getting incorporated into it. It's really, really thick at this point. It would be really hard to pipe it or do anything. So now you got two choices. You can use, well, three choices, I guess. You can use heavy whipping cream. You can choose milk, or I like to add just a little bit of water to it. And I mean, like tablespoon by tablespoon, because you can very quickly thin this out too much. And I do this while it's mixing so I can see how it's doing. Now while that first bit is mixing up, some people with their lemon cakes think that the cake flavored lemon is enough. I like to add just a little bit of lemon extract into the icing also, to give it just that lemon boost. Now, I am a person that really likes lemon. If you are one that likes mild lemon, I would just leave it as the cake flavored and leave the buttercream as just a vanilla flavor. So I'm gonna take and add in about a tablespoon of the lemon extract while it's mixing up. And let that blend in really well. And we are starting to get the consistency that we want. I made the mistake, I didn't have it videotaping. I made the mistake of taking this towel off and checking too soon. And my sink is now covered in powdered sugar. And that's why I tell you, leave that on for about 5 minutes until it really incorporates. Now I am going to, let's see if I can move this to, see that batter there? I'm gonna add just a little bit more water to it to make it just a little bit easier for piping onto my cupcakes. And then you can also, if you want to color it yellow with some food gel, you can do that. I'm going to leave this plain. The butter, since it has a little bit of that yellow color, the butter will give it a little bit of a yellow tint. I'm just going to leave it plain as is this time. But I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so for decorating your cupcakes, I'm going to show you a few things that you're going to need. I got these off of Amazon. So these are piping bags. I honestly forget how much these cost. It was like $12 for 50 of them. It's very, very cheap. And now these are super thin, so you cannot do hard piping. They're actually called tipless bags with the intent of doing really fine details, but I still use them with my tips also. And then the tip is a Wilton 1M, and that's got, I don't know if it'll show it. Got kind of the rosette type tip. This is what is gonna give you the really fancy rosette looking on the top. So I just take the tip of the bag and I cut it off, open it up, and then I slide the tip. With these big ones, I do not use couplings with them. I just let it drop right down in the bag, and I just make sure that the bag does not cover any of those little slots, because otherwise you're gonna end up with some really, really weird looking decorations. And then for easy bag filling, you're gonna get a plain just cup that you have. I don't know how to do it. And then you're gonna stick the bag inside it, and you're gonna fold it just over top of the cup like that. That's gonna give you the sturdiness to fill that bag and without making a mess all over the place. Okay, now we're just gonna take a spoon. There's the icing consistency for the buttercream, and this is American buttercream. I'm gonna just scoop it out and just squish it right in there. And to make it easier to pipe, I only fill about halfway full. So then when you pull it out, it is gonna look, whoops. Take and twist it and squish it down. So it's gonna look just like that. That's gonna make for easier piping. Take and flip this down, and you're gonna hold that. Because if you don't and you start doing this, it's gonna come squirting out the top and all over everything that you're gonna try to fix. So if we look at, see from putting the powdered sugar on those blueberries, how they're just all over throughout those cupcakes. So you're gonna get a blueberry bite all over the place. So we're gonna get our piping bag ready. Now with this tip, I'll show you two different ways to get a small rose and then the fancy big swirl. So do the rose, you're gonna start in the middle, okay? You're gonna start squeezing it, and just, all you do is just rotate around and keep spreading out. And that is how you get just that very simple but very pretty rose. Now to do the big fancy kind of mountain looking rose one, you're gonna start on the outside, okay? You're gonna just go like this around once, and I've still got the hole in the middle, okay? You need to keep tightening your bag to get an even flow so you don't have blotchiness. Then you're gonna kind of start a little bit further in and just lift up as you're going around. Don't hold it straight to the cupcake. See, you get a mile-high icing then doing that. So then that is your lemon blueberry cupcakes. You got the blueberry, the lemon box cake that we just doctored up, and there is nothing wrong with that. You don't even have to tell people that it was a box cake. You can just say, yeah, girl, I made it. You got the mile-high rose, or you got the flat, fancy rose. You can do those in any colors you want. That's American buttercream with a little bit of lemon flavor. So there you go, your lemon blueberry that everybody always wants, everybody loves. Snack it up, just make cupcakes, cakes, whatever you want with it, and enjoy.